2023. Mother Gaia, third dimensional planet, ascending into fourth dimensional collective consciousness. Azor,
Grand Rising Captain.
can you give me the update on third dimensional planet Gaia?
Yes, Christo, with pleasure. Gaia 3D currently is under critical condition. It seems there is a large amount of humans that have forgotten who they are, causing confusion, division and war driven by fear.
Thank you, Azor. Before we head down to Gaia, can you give me any information about the 3D world, as it's been a while since I've been there?
Sure, the 3D Gaia. We will face much resistance from negative polarity beings as a dual plane. Karma and Dharma are in effect. There is free will. It will be wise to protect our energy and hold love.
Alright, thank you, Azor. Sounds like we have quite the task at our hands. But that's why we're here, and that's why we've been called upon in the Galactic Federation to go down to planet Gaia, the 3D realm. Alright, Azor, let's get ourselves ready to go. Let's hit the time portal and make sure we land in the present day, Mother Gaia, third dimension.
Greetings, salutations, blessings to y'all, Sacred Kingdom soul family. Before I get into my diatribe, I have some gong vibes for you. If you're not familiar with the gong, if you haven't been to Kundalini yoga classes or gong baths, it's a clearing of the nervous system. I got this, my first gong. Her name's Nirname, by the way, which means nameless. Ironic paradox. That was at the conclusion of my first Kundalini training back in 2014 in Cincinnati. SadaNam Singh here at your service, and I have a PSA because it's come to my attention that some of you were not present at this Polishing Your Pearl holistic retreat. So I would like to convey to you some of the teachings, some of the fun and the experiences that we had. This now is just a year that I've been collaborating with Marcus Christolight doing these retreats since the Lionsgate last year, and it feels like at least 2-3 years because this is the 6th retreat we've done in that time. We had the Lionsgate outside of Cincinnati in Loveland on the river. We had New Year's Eve, which was beautiful, at the Apple Butter Inn, Pennsylvania, with the sparkling snow and just this sunroom full of glowing lights. with this, then we had the spring equinox and beautiful Hocking Hills and cabins there. The summer solstice was here, and Slippery Rock, and then Costa Rica in May as well. So I would highly encourage you to join us. Every one of these experiences has been filled with healing, sound healing, Reiki, and just the healing of being in community with people who are like-minded, like-hearted, people who just see you and your gifts and encourage you. I was especially with this particular retreat was about mentorship, going deeper into these topics. So it's not just giving you a little vacation, a little fun and live music, which is great, a great stress reliever, but I definitely believe in the teaching the person to fish type of experience. So in my yoga classes, I was giving a packet, 4 different sort of categories that I've boiled down 20 years of Ayurvedic training and yogic training in OSU college courses, in 4 Kundalini yoga trainings that first one was in 2014, and I had done like 8 years of OSU courses on the survey of a wide variety of things. But then I had my first level 2 training in India with Gurmukh conscious communication, and another 200 hours in India with Yogi Amandeep. And so there's so much yogic technology, and this is not like something that some like person that you don't know channeled from some possibly questionable source from their own mind potentially. This is hundreds and thousands of years of history of Ayurveda, of yogic technology. So I boiled it down into the 4 segments of waking up in the morning, going to sleep at night, nourishing your body, and cleansing your body. Because these are things that are very practical. Certainly I enjoy a psychedelic, mind-expanding, guided meditation, but if you can't, really sustain and take care of yourself on just that alone, I like to address these practical things that we do every day that you have to do. And if you do them like begrudgingly or inefficiently, you can just be filling yourself with toxins and negativity. So waking up consciously in the morning, with affirmations that we practiced, with some yogic technology like rubbing your hands, just simple things that anyone can do as long as you have 2 hands. I'll say most people can do. I don't know, if you only have 1 hand, rub somewhere else. But then you do the affirmations, breathing, stretches. They're all things that anyone can do with any type of body, with no experience required. And as I've gotten older, into my 30s, when I hit 40, these things are not just an optional, way of feeling better. They've become an essential part of feeling good at all. Like, I want to wake up in the morning, I want to feel energized. I don't want to have pain and tension, because then I'll just be super grumpy and mean to people. And I think I want that for all of us. I want all of us to be our highest selves, to feel our best, put our best foot forward, so you can prosper and be healthy and thrive in your relationships and your community. So this is the kind of thing you can do to set your consciousness, set your body in the beginning of the day. Going to sleep at night, something that a lot of people struggle with. So we go through the yogic processes, cleansing the body, cold showering, a lot of dietary stuff. But you can join me in my Zoom classes every Tuesday and Thursday evenings. If you have questions, you can join our Facebook Messenger group, Kundalini Yogi Community. Tuesday nights at 7:30 I do a yin class, very gentle. We don't stand up, it's all long stretches, therapeutic, always have sound healing, gong bath meditations. And Thursday night is Kundalini, which is all of the above, but with exercises like cardio type exercises. It's another essential thing that every person with a body needs to keep your heart functioning well, your brain, your energy levels, clearing out stress and toxins. Is best to sweat and breathe vigorously. So we do all of that in very precise yogic technology ways for Kundalini tradition. So some things target the lymphatic system, different glands and organs, not just the breathing, the circulatory and respiratory, and the muscular system, of course. But there's things for like pituitary gland and thymus gland, immune system. So it's a really powerful and comprehensive technology. But as I could go on and on about that, but I also wanted to give you a taste of every one of these retreats. I think at least the past like 4 or 5 retreats, we have crafting, which is another thing that's very near and dear to my heart that really just lights up my soul. Creativity, working with beautiful elements like stones, crystals, beads. In this case, we had 2 workshops working with pearls, with guided meditations, and the concept of a pearl being that it's a little grain of sand or something that's irritating the oyster, and it's causing it irritation, so it keeps coating it in minerals that forms this beautiful pearlescent, natural gem over time. And so that's how we can transmute our own irritation, our own negativity out of something that just is bothering us into something that is helping us grow something beautiful out of that. So we had a lot of great teachings on that, and we opened up these oysters and got our pearls, and in the past retreats we've made crystal wraps, and the live music from Cricket the Gift and Aura to Profit was beautiful, like the sound healings, the Reiki share, and Marcus and Rhonda and Kirsten always cook delicious veggie food for us, which I always appreciate. So I once again would just highly recommend joining us in the future retreats or on the podcasts. I'll hopefully be able to join you and share more of these teachings in the hopes that that can uplift your life. I believe, we are all one, and by helping any person, you're helping the collective consciousness, and that's how that make the world a better place. So that's what I'm here for, help you with that, and once again offer you my blessings of appreciation for you tuning in. I see some examples of my sound healing animation, and some, it's not just like gong and singing, but I play guitar, flutes, ukulele, loop it all together. I've got some really cool content on my website at SadaNamSing.com, and animations and stuff I've made for my old bands if you're into more groovier, jammier stuff as well. So yeah. I am currently in Cleveland. I was leading a Kundalini community in Columbus for like 10, 15 years, and I had my studio there. So sometimes I'll go to Columbus, Gift of Light expos and things like that. All these festivals in the tri-state area, I'm usually teaching workshops. But currently in Cleveland, which is the most convenient place for in-person live sound healing and meditation instruction. So, yeah. Thank you, Marcus, for having me on. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Much love.
Coming in, Captain.
Reporting, Captain Christo here. What's going on, Azor?
It appears the Star Confederation has surrounded the White House. They are ready to write the new contracts for the systems on Gaia.
Coming in. Wait, what's going on, Azor? You need me over at the White House in DC? Oh, they have surrounded. Really, it's time. Wow, okay. Well, let me keep this brief and update our audience. Grand day, grand rising. Welcome to a fresh GGR, Galactic News Report, here at the peak of the Lion's Gate 8-8, where Sirius is rising, and the heart of the lion is expanding. The ascension codes are drawing upon us with the pyramids of Egypt, as well as the Orion Belt. During this manifestation gateway portal, we have went through massive change. We have gone through purging. We have gone through ascension symptoms. We have found new clarity and new vitality for creativity. I'm going to keep this very brief to give you guys what is coming up on this galactic guidance report for this week on 8-8. I am Captain Christo, Sacred Light Healing and Wellness, your holistic shaman, as well as media producer and retreat host. Now, I just got word from Azor that they currently need me to make my way over to the White House because there are new contract negotiations being worked out between our star family and those of us on Earth. So I'm going to keep this brief and give you guys some insight on what is to come during these segments throughout this wonderful, wonderful Lionsgate peak. We are jam-packed and we have many of our beautiful Sacred Kingdom Council members for you. We are going to be connecting with SadaNam, Singh for Kundalini Yoga and Ayurvedic teachings. We will be connecting with Lyranisto for Astral Holistics, Phinix for the Gene Keys, Amy Fox, as we will be tapping in to Cultivating Kindness with the Ascended Masters. We will be learning more alchemy tools through Kara. And we will also be tapping in and tuning in with Dina of DNA Training,
with that herb, right?
Sarah
and then
with
of
the
course
Earth and
we'll
Energy
also
Report,
touch on a chakra spotlight.
Missy, the Cosmic Oracle, as well as myself, Christolight, where I will be giving you your chakra of the week. We may have a surprise and we may be having a first time joining with Kadril Mara, as she may be attuning us to the Egyptian side of the transmissions. So get ready for a jam-packed 8-8 Lionsgate peak as we continue to transform, transmute, and awaken. I wish you all a wonderful, wonderful end to your Lionsgate. And I gotta go off to the White House in DC as we renegotiate the new contracts for planet Gaia. Captain Christo out.
Hello everyone, my name is Andre and I'm going to speak with you regarding astral holistics, and I wanted to bring you into my world of astral dream works and just weaving the dreams with, elemental allure, and help give you an understanding of how your dreams work versus astral traveling. So I want to also give you a background on me. I am a military veteran. I was 17 years in the Air Force, served both reserve and also in active duty. And during this time, I've been through a lot, just like many of us growing up, and many of us have dealt with throughout our lives with many different situations that we were put through. As for me, I had my siblings, and we were all kind of military affiliated in some way or form. And, I've had my share of tough times, and I wanted to get more involved into the spiritual realm of things. I've asked a lot of questions whenever I was attached to a lot of the religious aspect of things. And, those questions led me to the spiritual life. And ever since I was a child, I will say about 7 years old, I was walking the astral plane, and it scared the crap out of me. And didn't know what to do with it. I would tell my parents about it, and they would dismiss me, tell me it was a nightmare or a bad dream. And I knew it wasn't, because it was so real. It was very, very real. And, as a child, you're more connected to the universe. You're more connected to the spiritual realm. And after a while, it became a little scary for me as a child, because I did not understand of what was happening at that moment. And I blocked myself from it for many, many years. I would say until about my mid-teens, right before I turned 20, maybe 17 or 18 years old, I started tapping back into it again, but not as much. And as an adult, I was trying to find my way, trying to find my path, and it led me more back into the astral realm of things. And so today, I would just like to open myself up and speak to everyone about my experiences and what you can do regarding astral travel, how to recognize it, how to make it more active. I'm not going to dive into meditation or into instructions on how to go into astral, but just to recognize it, and you'll start seeing it happening more often than normal. So I created some notes that I would like to go through regarding some astral
Imagine
travel.
booking a soul session, ordering crystals, and joining a live retreat from your phone. For too long, finding the right healers, the right products, the right community has meant endless searching across scattered corners of the internet. That changes now. The Sacred Kingdom has arrived, an online hub where a worldwide directory of holistic practitioners, readers, life guides, organic makers, musicians, a crystal shop, books, and more are all waiting for you. Book one-on-one sessions, order products, and discover Kingdom members serving locally in your area, all from your fingertips, wherever you are, whenever you're ready. Stay connected to upcoming events and retreats, both online and in person. Tap into a YouTube channel built for real conversation, hands-on holistic learning, and free giveaways. And there's more coming: courses, programs, a holistic recipe book, and the Sacred Kingdom Mystery School Academy mentorship. This is a space built on love, compassion, and the belief that conscious living should be accessible to all walks of life. Visit thesacredkingdom.com, and if you feel called to build from within, email Marcus Christolight at marcustut23@gmail.com about joining the Kingdom Council. The Kingdom is open.
We'll go through it together. So basically, your body, the human body, is composed of different layers of energy, comprised of 7 layers, which many of you may be already aware, many of you may not be, but each are separate and individual, yet they are interpenetrating, Together, they make up your aura. Every living organism has its aura, an energetic vibrating frequency of light. The colors of your aura serve as indicators of your energy, thoughts, feelings, and awareness level. The auric colors should always radiate a bright hue, as this represents vitality, positivity, and good health. Darker and cloudy colors indicate sickness, negativity, and a general imbalance of the whole body. Through auric color symbolism, you can see the different colors that coincide with the type of auric fields that many people may see. You may see yourself. You have purple level of awareness and openness. You have blue level of intuitive abilities, depending on the hue. Green, healing abilities. Yellow indicates inquisitiveness, also aka spiritual awakening. Orange symbolizes vitality and emotions. Red symbolizes actions. Dark red can symbolize anger and negativity. And then some people will also see the rainbow color, which is found in natural healers, spiritual teachers, and light workers. Now, the aura exists to protect the physical body and shield your spirit from negative vibrating frequency, which may potentially harm you. The chakras and the aura are linked together. Therefore, the chakras affect the aura, and could be vice versa. When you are experiencing a low vibrational emotion, the aura dims its colors to reflect this. Let's scroll up. Now, in the same breath, it brightens and expands its radiation when your vibrational frequency is at a high. The 7 energy layers of the auric field are also referred to as the subtle bodies. You don't need to be able to see the auric layers before you can sense or feel them. All you need to know is to understand what they are and how to work with them. Now, once you know this, you will be able to tap into them to achieve things such as tuning your thoughts, tuning your emotions, or having an out-of-body experience, OBE. Now, your auric layers, your first energy body is the closest to your physical body, your ether, which is a place beyond space, linked to the root. And you have your emotional layer, your second subtle body. It's about 3 inches from your physical body, the bridge between the material and physical body, and it's linked to your sacral. Then you have your third layer of auric field, which is your mental layer, responsible for the formulation of thought process, which is hooked to your throat chakra and solar plexus chakra. And that's about 3 to 8 inches from the physical body. And then you have your astral layer, your fourth layer, and that is connected to the heart chakra, sits about 1 foot from the physical body. It is home to the spectrum of light that is continuously moving. Then you have your etheric template layer, your fifth layer from your physical body. Now that is connected to the throat chakra. The etheric template body channels everything on the physical plane into being. And then you have your celestial layer, which is your sixth subtle body, and it's connected to the third eye chakra, also called the spiritual body. That serves as the bridge between you and connection to all things, including your true self to the universe. It is the place where awakening and the enlightenment begin. And then you also have your Keteric template layer, which is your seventh and final layer, connected to the crown chakra, extending 3 feet outward, and it signifies your connection to the universe. It is where you become one with the cosmos, the higher being, and the divine. It is a state of higher awareness. The Keteric layer holds the auric field and each chakra together, and this interfaces between you and everything else. And once you connect all that together successfully, you can unlock the Akashic records. You'll have access to it for yourself. You can help others with it. And then also have a lot of things like out-of-body experiences. I can have that myself almost every single night. There are times where I practice meditation to purposely have an out-of-body experience. And for those who don't understand or know what that means, it's a state where you can sense your consciousness slip out of your body, and generally involves a sensation of floating or even walking the astral plane. Now, with this being said, I would like to kind of get into a little bit about my experiences with out of body. And like I said, I have them almost every single night. Even when I sleep in the afternoons, just to get a little siesta, I tend to have them very heavily during those times. And I receive a lot of messages, whether it's symbolism, whether it's through numbers, whether it's through animals, music, or even my own guides coming to me to speak with me. So with that being said, I would like to read a little story for you all so you can have an understanding of what I experience sometimes. And I would love to hear others share their experiences with me or anyone else within the Sacred Kingdom, if you're interested. So I had such an amazing and magical dream, or was it a dream? So where should I begin? So many things happened that stood out. Before I begin, I will say that I used a grounding bed sheet while I was asleep. I remember being part of a group that were saving a bunch of orphan children, basically crawling through rubble and toys just to get to them. The group that I was with and I were very successful, and we saved many. One major thing that stood out the most, many of the adults, include myself, were fae. And if you don't know what that is, it's just a short version of saying fairy. But it's not just a fairy, but fae is also a group of other different beings within that realm that share that realm together. It doesn't have to necessarily be a being with wings. From what I can remember, I was new. I just received my wings. A pixie woman was explaining something to me, and she was talking. Her skin began to change into a silver glittery color. Her clothing that she was wearing froze in time, cracked, and then shattered. It was as if she was having like a metaphysical metamorphosis, and it was just too powerful for her. Her chemistry was too powerful for the clothing, and it just shattered. Now, the last thing that I can remember within this OBE, I flew myself to another location where I ran into an old friend, and that ran a store while I was there. And before entering the store, a woman with her child recognized me, but she didn't know me personally. She asked to see my eyes as the sun was glistening off of them. Apparently, I was a rare breed amongst the fae. Like now in this current life, in my waking world, my eyes are a different color compared to others, and they stand out a lot. So as I entered the store, I was looking for supplies to begin my schooling. I'm unsure of my studies. I asked another pixie woman about a certain building that was off in the distance across the water, and she referred to it as the Void. As she was explaining this to me, she as well began to go through some kind of metaphysical metamorphosis, and her skin turned silvery and glittery and breaking the clothing that she was wearing. And her transformation was so powerful, it knocked me into the water. As I was coming out of the water, climbing up on the rocks, on the jetties, I realized I was fluttering my wings to shake the water off, and I got other people wet. I felt the cold water and the feeling of being wet, and then I woke up from it. So that's just an experience that I wanted to share with you all, because once you start realizing and kind of paying attention to feeling, to taste, to hearing, to smell, all your senses, those dreams are not just dreams. You are actually walking the astral plane. As your body, your vessel is in deep sleep, your soul does not sleep. It's energy. It continues to move. So your dreams may not just be dreams or thought. You're actually in astral and just traveling around. And then once you realize that, you start recognizing the differences between dream and between astral traveling. And then it becomes more lucid, it becomes more vivid. And the more and more you recognize it. And I know there are 4 things I would like to share with you all. You can write it down. It helped me quite a bit, and it made my dreams become more frequent on a daily, or excuse me, on a nightly basis, even when I'm sleeping in the afternoon. There is a thing, you have consciously aware and intentional. So there's 4 elements to that. You have unconsciously aware, and then you have unintentional, meaning when you went to sleep, you did not know you were astral traveling, and you did not intentionally try to astral travel, but you were. And then you have unconsciously aware and intentional, where you intentionally tried to astral travel, but you weren't sure. You weren't aware that you were. And then you have consciously aware and unintentional, where you did not mean to go into astral, but consciously you became aware that you were traveling around. And then you also have consciously aware and intentional, where it just worked out both ways. You intended to do it, and it happened. So I just wanted to share that with you all. And if you have questions, you have your spirit guides with you. And if you're not sure who your spirit guides are, you can always find someone who teaches these things. You have many types of beings of spirit guides that may come to you. All right, so who are my guides? You have your spirit guides, which could be just you can have been embodied and have graduated from the human plane. We all have at least one guide. It can be your higher self. Many can have multiple. I have multiple guides as well for me, and they're all from different places. But I do have many that stand behind me, and I'm sure many of us do as well. Then you have your angels. They're from the angelic realm and can generally don't embody as humans, but they each have specific roles, and you can always ask for more. Then you have your archangels, the overseeing archangels that offer collective and specific assistance, like divine support, and they are omnipresent. You have your ascendant masters, beings like Yeshua, Buddha, Ganesh, teachers that were known to live here on the earthly plane, that are highly leveled in their spiritual selves and their embodiment, and then you also have your light beings, who are etheric assistants that are less earthly based. We don't always see them, but you can feel their presence, you can feel their energy. But I know whenever I'm going through these, and before I go to sleep, before I go into meditation, I call upon my guides. I want them to be there with me, to protect me, to walk me through, to guide me. And before you go into any meditation, and this is what I do every night before I fall asleep, I create an energetic protection boundary around me. You should always do that, no matter where you're at. Even if you're just walking in a theme park, protect your energy. Because there's many people in a theme park, and there's many people walking around everywhere, and they may not even realize it, but they could be just absorbing your energy. You're like tired all of a sudden. So just keep that in mind. Protect your energy, whether if you're going through meditation, right before you go to sleep, even if it's just a little cat nap, just create a circle of protection around you. Call upon your guides to assist you, and then make sure you thank them. And with that being said, I would like to thank you all for being the audience and listening in on everything. I really do appreciate it. This is totally a new thing for me, being online and speaking about my experiences to everyone. And if you're interested in getting to know me more, again, my name is Andre. I am also a Reiki master, and this is the astral holistic interpretation of what I have experienced through my lifetime. And let me add this in there. If you can remember, before you wake up fully in the morning, write down, take notes of your dreams. Even if you think, I'm gonna remember it in the middle of the night. No, you're not. You will forget it. So if you wake up from something, that means your guides are giving you some kind of guidance, or they want you to remember something. So what I do, I either pull out a piece of notebook paper, or I'll pull out my phone and I go to my notes section on my phone, and I just type in really quick keywords to kind of help trigger my memory. So when I come back to it, I can write it down in a notebook and I can give you my story. So that'll help also remember your dreams over the time. It'll help you make your dreams more vivid and lucid. And if you'd like to know more, and if you want to hear more from me about the stories, or if you'd like to learn more, please contact us through Sacred Kingdom. You can email me, you can call me. I have Messenger, I have Facebook. I don't have Instagram or anything like that, but you're more than welcome to contact me in any other way. And I do appreciate everyone. Love and light to you all.
Greetings from Costa Rica. I'm Phinix. So nice to be with you today. coming from the Galactic 0 points on this 8-8. All about the numbers. You can find me on Facebook. Message me directly if you ever want to work with me. It's my honor to decode your star maps, to dive into your ascension codes, and to align you with your divine blueprints. And that's what I'm talking to you about today. I wanted to bring in, since it's the 8-8 portal, I wanted to bring in Gene Key 8. And for those of you who have never heard of the Gene Keys, the Gene Keys came into my life about 8 years ago, and I've never been the same. So I guess that's my warning for you, is that if you're not into rapid pace transformation and ascension, then turn this video off. But if you are motivated by making shifts, changes, and quantum leaps in your reality, getting real with yourself, doing the shadow work, awakening to your highest truth, your purpose and your mission, that's what I'm here for. And that's what the Gene Keys is here for. And so I discovered the Gene Keys again 8 years ago and went and found my profile online. First, I had found human design, if you've ever heard of that. And that's what I like to do in sessions, is pull your human design, your Gene Keys, and your Galactic Maya profiles and synthesize all of these tools, resources, and systems to assist us in our awakening process. But for me at the time, I'd never heard of this type of stuff before, thought it was a little crazy. And the next thing you know, I'm diving into the depths of the Palladians, genetic codes, DNA, astrology, ascension. And so the Gene Keys was the most beautiful, what I would say, poetic genetics that I could find in awakening my soul purpose. And when I first pulled my profile, and you can do that yourself, you can go to free Gene Keys profile. I just Google free Gene Keys profile, go to genekeys.com. You plug in your birth date, your time, and it gives you or invites you into like an introduction to your profile. It's like a horoscope connected to neutrino imprints when you decided to arrive on this planet. And that is something that I believe to be so, is that you chose to be born on planet Earth at a very particular moment in time, down to the time, the specific date, the time. You chose your mother and your father. You chose the location and the grid points that on this in this galaxy that you would arrive into and incarnate into a physical human body. And when you start to remember that truth, you start to open your eyes and pull back the levels, you know, take an eagle eye view and see the bigger picture of why you chose that. And that's what helps you really turn on your original memory connected to source, because a lot of times it feels like we've come down to planet Earth and we've forgotten who we are. We've had a little bit of amnesia. And so through these collective codes of awakening, you start to open up and remember who you truly are. And so you have a particular geometry about you with your particular numerical codes. And the Gene Key 8 that I'm going to be talking about today is a specific code of mine. I call it a Palladian code. It's directly aligned to the Pleiades star system. I have it in what's called my evolution sphere, which is the sphere I'm here to break through. And I also have it as my Chiron wound. And so you can pull your profile and see where you might have it in your chart, or maybe you already know your chart. And I also always say there's 64 codons of DNA. So when you first pull your chart, you have 11 particular codes that you're working with. But ultimately, you have access to all 64 of these codes. And that's actually what the gate 8 is all about, because it can It's here to unlock all of what are called the cities. In each gene key, there is what's called the shadow frequency, which some people might call, I might call the third dimension of fear and survival. Ultimately, we're all kind of encoded, and operating at the shadow frequency. And that's what's so beautiful about unlocking these codes, is that it's a really healthy and fun and exciting, intuitive way to work with your shadows. And then to be able to see them in a way that you haven't been before, to be able to identify them, witness them, and then to open your heart into the next level from the shadow, which is called the gift level frequency, which I call your heart frequency, which then invites and opens you up to the Siddhic frequencies, which are about bringing your divine essence down into the body to embody your higher self, where the higher self is no longer separate from the lower self, but that we're bridging the worlds between the higher and the lower, within the upper and the lower. And so within the gene key 8, the shadow of this key is mediocrity. And so when you sit with that word and you think about the word mediocrity, you can ask yourself, where am I living a mediocre life? And I hear this like this old song in my head, I don't want no mediocre, I don't want no mediocre, I don't want no mediocre. I can't remember who sings it, but that just like popped into my head. Okay, so the gift is called style, doing things with style. I'm here to bring that style. I got my galactic friends with me today, by the way. So this is my master Atlantis crystal. We've got two Andaras here representing some Egyptian codes. And then we've got the city of exquisiteness. And gene key 8 is called the diamond of the self. Right? So you can just think of that, the diamond of the self. It's about being yourself. And it's about not falling into the trap of fitting in. It's about breaking out of the mold. In the 8 years that I've been on this path, that's been my journey. And I would say I'm here to live and tell, through my own direct expression, that we're being called to move beyond our comfort zones. In the shadow of the 8, it talks a little bit about how sometimes we need to have a shocking experience, like a death or something serious happen in our lives, to initiate us into the next level of our awakening, to awaken us out of the mediocrity. And I was initiated on the path through a near-death experience. And ever since then, it's really been about literally having a death and a rebirth and a resurrection. And some of you may have heard of the terminology of a walk-in. And for me, how I represent the idea of a walk-in is my higher self coming down into my body. And then with that integration process, I'm being called, and we are being called into this initiation and becoming the diamond of the self, to let go of anything that isn't who we truly are. So in the last 8 years, I was called to leave behind my home in the United States, leave behind the finer things in life, move to Costa Rica, living a much more simple life, much less material life. I would call it my dematerialization process. And to really go into the inner caves of myself to learn more about these codes. And now I feel like I'm coming out of the cave as the diamond of myself, to express myself and to share about the importance for us to align ourselves to spirit. In fact, it's a matter of life or death. So that's the galactic message of this day, is to invite you to really identify where you've been living in mediocrity, where you've been living in comfort, where you're now being called to rise up into something new. So I'm going to read you a little bit about Gene Key 8, which I wrote here, cosmic beams and streams. All right, so we're just going to read a little bit about it. Beyond the comfort zone. When you look at the world in which we live today, especially the Western world, it is quite extraordinary how many people live such similar lives. The eighth shadow, like all the shadow frequencies, is founded upon a specific fear. And in this case, it's the fear of being different. The eighth shadow prevents individuals from rising out of the mass consciousness and exploring the real adventure of life. The true nature of individuality is rebellion, but rebellion is unsafe. So the mass consciousness of humanity chooses the illusion of security instead. The eighth shadow weaves a web across the world, and this web supports the planetary comfort zone. Only when life forces you to grow through some kind of crisis or the death of a loved one, for example, do you come to experience your true nature outside the borders of this comfort zone. Now, as I read that, I'm like, why do you need to have a shocking experience? Why does someone need to die? Why do, for you to awaken out of this comfort zone? Do we really need to have that serious of an experience to snap our asses up and out of the mediocrity? You can learn from somebody else's story or experience and save yourself the trouble. So my call here is for you to listen where you haven't been listening, because it's usually because you've been ignoring something or pushing some messages out, or your intuition that's been coming to you. You keep pushing it away, pushing it away, pushing it away. And so your higher self or your soul is like, oh, do I need to get a little louder with you so that you'll hear me? Right? And so we don't need an emergency or a shocking event to happen for us to awaken. In the Western world in particular, your individuality is imprinted very early in life. One of the issues addressed repeatedly through this book is the influence of modern education, especially in the years leading up to the age of 7. Most educational systems encourage sameness rather than difference, because difference threatens the system itself. In modern education, young children go through an accepted process of tests and examinations, the very nature of which is to regurgitate memorized information with little or no scope for spontaneous innovation. This indoctrination begins in your early childhood and lasts into your early 20s as you are cycled through the same system that shaped your parents and your parents' parents. By setting up a system where sameness is the rule, we have successfully turned individuals into outsiders and reactionaries. So a lot of this then is going into the questioning of formal education. And there's so much more about it in rebelling, and really becoming the truth of who you are. And for me, I've completely rebelled as per my design and left all systems behind in quite an extreme way. And I'm not saying that everyone's got to go as wild as me or as extreme as me, but it was part of my path and part of my design that I've been called to pull myself out of all systems, or to surrender out of all systems in order to see a new path. And that is the path for me. Maybe it's the path for you, maybe it is not the path for you, but I only live to tell as my unique expression, as the diamond of myself, that we're all being called to the path that we chose before we incarnated on this planet. And a lot of times when things aren't going right in our life, especially with our health, with our body, with our energy, with our vitality, it's because we're not living in true alignment. And so we're all getting that call to Jesus, that come to Jesus moment, so to speak, where we're being, it's just an expression, like, am I on my path? Am I living my true purpose? Where am I living a lie? Where am I hiding? Where am I settling? And so these are the things for you to contemplate as we open up this 8-8. And then I'm just going to read you a couple questions from, this is my Wisdom Keeper's Inner Guidebook that's connected to the 64 codons of DNA. This is the number 8 style. And I'm just going to read the questions for contemplation. And actually, I'm going to read what's called the gift to you. There's a wisdom story as well, but for the sake of time, I'm just going to go with the gift and the questions for contemplation to leave you all with. My gift to you. I have a hunch there is a voice in you longing to be heard. I am here to encourage you to stop worrying about blending in. Dare to be an original. Don't just follow the trends. Be a rebel with a cause. Embrace your own style and let it come from deep inside you. When I see you doing something that others may think is crazy or too much, I know that you are as sane could be. Maybe there are people who won't stick around. I understand how painful that can be. I also promise you there will be others who will be so inspired by your style that they'll catch the authenticity bug. So please get comfortable with being a fringe dweller. Trust that the world will catch up with you in its own good time. No matter what your passion is, give it some air, set it free, and expect nothing less than exquisiteness. And so, you know, in my particular path, as I started to awaken to this truth within myself, it was like I had this fear of coming out of the closet, so to speak, because I was like thinking of all the people I know and how radical it would be for me to come out and be who I truly was. And so I was going through this inner awakening process, and I wasn't really talking about it because I didn't want anybody to think I was crazy. That was me, you know, 8 years ago. And then all of a sudden it was finally like something just came out of me, and I was like, you know what? I've got to be who I am. I'm dying in here. Why am I hiding this truth of who I really am? And it was like, talk about shedding all the layers of superficiality. Like maybe you can relate if you are like a different person in different groups, like, oh, I'm with my family right now, so I've got to be like that. I'm at the church, so I've got to be like that. I'm at work and I've got to be like that, versus like being wholeheartedly yourself wherever you go. And that's what we're called to do. And what I started to realize is when I came out of the closet, all of a sudden I did lose people that were like, whoa, she's crazy. And I also started to bringing in my true soul family and people who were resonating and picking up what I was putting down. And so I no longer needed to edit or audit myself. And it allowed me to really come into my full, true, authentic expression and bring in a higher resonance frequency field to mirror what I was bringing through, what I was becoming. I was growing. I'm a way shower. I'm creating the way. You are a way shower. You're creating the way. And what I learned is that there were many other people out there that had been in the same predicament as me, where they were hiding this light inside and they were going through this inner awakening, questioning everything and all this transformation. But like they had a fear for what the others would think about it on the outer field. And so this is the invitation for all of us to come out of the closet and be our true expression. And so the questions here for contemplation, and then we're going to close this one down. In what ways did you learn to blend in to be like everyone else? Where are you still blending in, but secretly wanting to leap out? What would you do if you weren't afraid of what others would think of you? Is there a risk you've been longing to take in service of a passion, but you've been afraid of failure or success? What is your fear? Where can you receive support and encouragement? How can you coax out your individual creative style? Complete the sentence. When I am in my exquisiteness, I am. Repeat as many times as you like and write what emerges in your journal. So nice to meet with you all today. I hope we opened up some gates for you, unlocked some truths within you. Feel free to reach out to me. Phinix Returns, it's spelled Phinix, Phoenix returns, like the golden ratio spiral. I'd love to connect with you one-on-one for any personal one-on-one work that you'd be interested in doing and just diving into your codes. And look forward to meeting you all. Thank you for the work that you're doing on the planet. Don't be afraid to come out of the closet and be your true self, be your true colors, be your authentic expression. We need you. We need you to break out of your mediocrity, to break out of your comfort zone, to be a shining star on the planet, leading the way in this ascension, in this shift, in this awakening. Everyone is awakening. And so the ones that are still hiding in their awakening are waiting for you to come out and be the star that you are. And so I honor you on the path. Thank you. Much love. And we'll see you next time.
Hi everybody, my name is Kara. I wanted to give you the rest of a message that I received on the day that the Lionsgate portal had opened. This comes through from Ascended Masters. It comes through from animal spirits, or animal medicine is how I like to receive it. I also work with different galactic beings, ancestors, and the elements. This is how I receive my messages. So if you would, please open your heart and open your mind and listen to receive. Thanks. The codes of the medicine women, the ancient codes of the medicine women, the ancient codes of the divine feminine, the primordial wisdom of the feminine is awakened, divided across the rivers, flowing in the veins of the earth, reaching the banks of the wisdom keepers, nurtured and harvested by the plant guardians, alchemized and shared by the medicine women during this lifetime. The medicine will cycle back into the water system and shared for all. It will rest and leach into the soil, and once again, the cycle will continue until all have reached, molecule by molecule, into the rain to feed, the rain to water the people. This is why they must turn back to nature and ingest the good food. This is why we must crumble, the systems will fall. The activations are slow across many, many, many lifetimes, across many lands, across many processes, except for those alchemists who know the way of the water, the way to pass the message, the way to pass the healing. This is your prayers. This is your prayers. Stay close to the ancient ones. Let them guide you. Tend to your water. Water yourself. Water the earth. Water the needs of the many. Thank you. Thank you, Sun Otter. Some will work with the scribes. Some will stay silent. Each will receive a slight irrigation of understanding. This completes permission. For each of those specific souls, this is your karma. Thank you. I wanted to share with you is that I work with the ancient primordial mother. This is who I receive my messages from mainly. I've been told this by other people outside of my own knowledge and understanding of my connection with this being. So I hope that the messages have brought you some sort of insight on where we're at right now in our reality and what our responsibilities are. Here's a few tips for working with the Lionsgate portal. So I personally am somebody who loves to charge water. Water has an intelligence about it. It changes depending on how it's programmed per se. So what you say over the water, the energies it's around, it actually changes the molecules. So I personally like to charge my water during Lionsgate. You just need to take some filtered water or distilled water and put it in a glass jar and put it outside during the nighttime hours. Do your best to not let any sunlight hit it so that it's at its most potent and that it's receiving the specific energies during the nighttime, which is what we're really focused on there. What you can do with the water is you can drink it but make sure if you do drink it, you don't keep it in somewhere funky, like make sure it stays fresh. I would also cover it, so keep it in a bag that keeps outside energies from tainting what you've just harnessed or the intentions you've spoken into the water. You can use it for bathing, you can use it for rituals. I like to make sprays and just like add essential oils and spray myself with it. That, alongside with the use of crystals, work with like citrine or pyrite, are really good for the abundance codes. However, you want to open your heart as well. So malachite is amazing for transformation. So any green stones really, or ruby zoisite is really good. Rose quartz is always beautiful. So think in the pink and green energies for the heart center, and think of your yellows and golds for your solar plexus. Also, dolomite is a really beautiful energy for manifestation and transformations. Or just lots of writing, writing out what you want to manifest, and write as though you're in the present tense. These are all things, and many of you might be feeling this, like you probably felt a relief of pressure after the full moon has passed and this Lionsgate is open. We just passed Mercury retrograde, and we're going to be coming up on a solar eclipse at the end of the portal. So this is a really, really, really powerful time. It's like so peak high with energy and transformation that it would be almost silly not to take advantage of it, especially right now with how rapidly the world is changing and whatever it is you're going through in your awakening journey. Thanks for watching. Have a beautiful rest of your Lionsgate. Use the energies wisely. Love you. Bye.
Hi, my name is Amy Fox, nicknamed Shalalea. And I have spent several years, honestly, about 20 years now, studying compassion and studying things similar, subjects like kindness movements and different things that I have found very interesting. And I decided a few years ago to start doing these compassion exercises where I actually would do something compassionate for someone in my daily life, or even sit there and just meditate for many hours on the subject of compassion and how I may not be giving enough compassion to this person or this situation. And so I decided with my work with the Ascended Masters, I could actually combine the Ascended Master work I do with the kindness work. So I am creating this series called Cultivating Kindness with the Ascended Masters. A little bit about me is that this school, actually a school was created from these ideas bridged together, which created this little series. But the school is called the School of Understanding and Compassion. And I am an ordained minister, Reiki practitioner. I am an upcoming author, and I've studied many integrative practices. And I've taught classes that led to wholeness and well-being types of exercises and understandings. I've studied under shamanic practitioners, and I am interested in studying other cultures. So I have several groups that I have actually created: the Church of Love, Goddess Gatherings, Saint Germain Studies, and Violet Flame Ministries, Ascended Master Teachings, and a business called Back to Wholeness, where we focus on returning balance in order to thrive. So I have studied the teachers of compassion for many years and said, how do they do it? How do they put everything they have into just simply being kind and just showing a good example? And I've just been very fascinated with different ideas on how to live my life that way. So today, the master that has been chosen is Saint Germain on forgiveness. And what we're going to do is we're going to cultivate the power of forgiveness. And so we're going to go into just this little brief thought about how we're asking for forgiveness to come into the room with the violet flame and Saint Germain. And we ask that forgiveness take over all of our thoughts and feelings, and that we ask the energy of forgiveness to actually come into our hearts, and we just forgive everything. We don't wait one more minute. We don't wait for an experience or revelation. We just allow Saint Germain and the violet flame energies to come into the room, and we allow the forgiveness to go into our world. And as we focus each week and each day on forgiveness for the next week. We allow ourselves to be forgiven for the things that we feel we need to still conquer and ways that we are not feeling that we have overcome that particular thing. So think of yourself as a person that wants to share your gifts, but you don't have the compassion or the forgiveness or understanding of others maybe yet to attain where you are with sharing your gifts, or maybe you do. But either way, we imagine we have a new life journey where forgiveness is what we are looking for. And we allow our daily lessons and understandings to be learned as the pace that we are welcoming it to happen. And I know that my heart knows that people aren't compassionate when they have not attained the wisdom of the experiences. We are at the level of cultivating compassion and forgiveness and all the qualities at the level we've experienced it. So all you can do is really live your life, and you can also, sit in peace. You can sit there and be still, and you can cultivate those qualities. But to allow compassion to fill the places where you do not have that place filled. And if you allow your gifts to be shared, it will come in the time you are ready. But why I mention gifts is because we are here going through these shifts, and so much of the work you do is actually about helping others with the shift and how to have compassion for those places you're working on where we don't know. We have to forgive ourselves. We have to forgive every part of ourselves that does not understand that just because you might be like right here somewhere with something you're working on. You may be highly developed, you may be really skilled at something, you may be down here with something else where you are not there. You are not at the place of having the right discernment to know how to work on that. So what we want to do is we want to work on those places by bringing the good energy and that good compassion and that forgiving of the old self, because that is still a part of who we are. But sometimes we have to remember that we are whole already. We are already whole, but we still have places that we needed to remember to fill back in. So we ask Saint Germain to allow forgiveness to come into our energy field, into our thoughts and imagination. We allow the violet flame to take over all of our energy that needs to be forgiven and sent to where it needs to go. And we just allow this to go on, and we allow the freedom of knowing that when you really know who you are, whether you have gifts to share, whether you have something you want to help others on their journey with, just know that when we allow those feelings of forgiveness, but the practice of letting go, just sensing and feeling all that old energy being released, that is the first cultivating kindness I would like to share with you. And each week we'll be doing a different master and doing cultivating compassion about a certain subject or something. I will be very grateful to share this with all of you. I hope you check out my school, the School of Understanding and Compassion, and you can find me on Facebook at Shalalea Rainstar. That is SHALALEA and Rainstar, and then in parentheses Amy Fox. And we all, we're all going through a very hard time right now. There's a lot of things going on with the shift, and I just ask you all that you be patient with yourself, you be understanding of yourself, because if you're trying to share your gifts, you have to also understand sometimes people get competitive. They want to, say, well, I have gifts, I want to share. It's like, the inner child, it's wanting to show, that we have things to share. We all are here to be respected for our gifts, but what's important is that we respect ourselves for having the open, mindedness and hardness to be willing to share those gifts. So I thank the Ascended Masters and all those that have ever helped me on my journey to allow me to be where I am. It's really about wholeness and just returning to wholeness. Thank you.
Hey guys, it's Dina with DNA Talks, and today I would like to speak to you about giving yourself a little grace while you're going through changes. Change does not happen overnight, guys, and change is not easy. It can be scary at times, but it also is necessary. So if something within you is asking you for a change, go ahead and take that step. Don't be scared to take that step and to see what is out there. The change is a good thing, guys, but I want you to also remember to give yourself some grace while you're going through that transition, because change can be a little messy, it can be scary, and it's not always vertical. Change can go up and down. So I want you to remember that while you're going through those changes, through those transitions, give yourself a little grace, and always remember what it has taken you to become that better version of yourself. So today, guys, I want to leave with this message. Don't be scared of change, and give yourself a little grace and patience while you're going through those changes. As always, remember how valuable you are, and you are capable as well. Thank you for watching. I am Dina with DNA Talks.
She didn't just change her body. She rebuilt who she was entirely. Meet Dina Morales, founder of DNA Training, and your host for DNA Talks. This is a show for women who are done with surface-level change. Real, raw conversations about fitness, motherhood, healing, confidence, discipline, and becoming who you were always meant to be. Transformation from the inside out. New episodes every week, right here on YouTube. Subscribe to DNA Talks, and let's get to work. DNA Talks. Stronger starts here.
Grand day again. Captain Christolight, here to give you your chakras of the week. And yes, I said chakras with the S, because I have two chakras that are going to be a nice, lovely pair for you guys to help you on this peak of the Lion's Gate 8-8, as well as move into the ending and closing of the gate on the 12th for your integration moving into the new moon. Now, the chakras that I'm going to go over today with you guys, number one is going to be the sacral chakra. And then number two, the throat center, the throat chakra. So yes, the throat and the sacral are the chakras I will be covering today with you guys briefly in this Galactic Guidance Report as I give you your chakras of the week. And then I will also give you a lovely archetypal guide, send the master being to be able to integrate and draw the teachings from to help with this balance of the sacral and throat. So without further ado, let's go ahead and waste no time and bring it on over to ascensionglossary.com. So ascensionglossary.com has the sacral chakra as the second chakra, and then the root chakra as the first. So I'm going to go ahead and read here first before I pull up my graphic and allow you guys to be able to read more in depth about the characteristics and details. So the second layer is the subconscious instinctual mind of the lower emotional body and relates to the second chakra or the sacral, located about 2 inches below the navel. The second chakra is also called the pain body. It is related to the emotional and feeling aspects of life experiences. Our sense of abundance, well-being, and sexuality is related to this chakra. Most traumas experienced that have not been resolved or released will create energetic blockage that lodges itself in this area. It tends to be the most difficult energy body and chakra for the human being to master in this plane of reality where low expressions of duality such as suffering and brutality exist. Most of the 3D human population is polarized and stuck in the human's experience of the second chakra or pain body. This is where human enslavement can be focused upon by the counter-evolutionary forces of the negative agenda. They're stimulating the second chakra imbalances of power, greed, addiction, and sex. These negative emotions emanate from the lower nature of the desired body residing in the second chakra. Now, that's all I'm going to read from Ascension Glossary, but those are some great ways to really start off this chakra conversation. And think about journaling and really reflecting on any of these kind of things that you may be dealing with in your life right now. So now I'm going to continue and I'm going to read more about the sacral for you guys. So the sacral chakra is located in the bladder area, right below the navel. The color it is associated with is orange. The frequency that it resonates at is 417 hertz for sound healing. The physical body parts and the organs that it governs is the reproductive system, the kidneys and the bladder. And then it is also what governs our sexual life force energy or creative energy or vitality. And then it's the pleasure center of our sensory, inner child, feminine creativity, and intimate relationships. Now, some blockages that you can identify as symptoms of a blocked sacral is trauma through sexual energy, emotional wounding, fear of being seen, having no passion, creative blocks, afraid of intimacy, repressing thoughts and emotions, and not having any fun. And overactivations could be spiritual bypassing, leaking of sexual energy, being extremely childish, escaping with creative energy, being overly affectionate to unhealthy outlets. Now, some crystals that you can connect with for the sacral, you have pyrite, orange calcite, tiger's eye, citrine, snowflake obsidian, sunstone, moonstone, and unakite. And then if you want to do a diet with the sacral for this week, you can eat things like carrots, mangoes, oranges, orange pepper, peaches, apricot, sweet potato, flax, almond, walnut, and sesame, and then coconut and cinnamon. And then here's a few practice strategies that you can utilize for the sacral. You can do yoga poses like goddess pose or reverse warrior. You can do inner child play, such as watch your favorite shows or movies, anime, do things like creativity and flow arts, dance to music, and of course different meditative practices. And I'll give you guys an affirmation for the sacral as well. And the affirmation for the sacral: I am free to enjoy what I love and opens me up in my innocent nature. I am free to enjoy what I love and I am open, and it opens me up in my innocent nature. So that is the sacral. Again, it is where we cultivate our life force energy from our vitality of the root up the system to be able to have the energy and vitality to then project it through the throat out into the world creatively. So moving on to our second chakra that we are covering today on this galactic report, it is going to be the fifth chakra, according to AscensionGlossary.com, and that is going to be the throat chakra. Now, the throat chakra is our vocal expression that we use to command the energy into form, manifestation. When we are aligned with what we are creating and speaking into manifestation, our throat chakra is open and clear. We are learning to become fully comfortable speaking our truth, expressing our authentic self in the 3D material reality. The fifth chakra is a vital part of humanity's spiritual awakening, for as individuals awaken to the authentic aspect of their eternal self. Excuse me. A new voice is born as it aligns to the inner spirit to speak spiritual will. Now, this is where it highlights the pairing of these two chakras. The throat chakra and the sacral are two key creative energy centers that work together. A sympathetic response in the throat chakra may be directly related to the accelerated second chakra clearing. The fifth chakra in principle is masculine energy, and the second chakra is feminine energy. As we are undergoing the masculine and feminine energy integration, this is one of the key processes we are experiencing, and why these two creative points unify to work together on clearing old patterns. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and go in depth into the throat chakra and its characteristics. And that is located in the throat and is the color blue. The frequency is 741 hertz. The physical organs and body parts: the thyroid, the mouth, the jaw, the tongue, the shoulders, and the neck. And then it is the center of expressing emotions or voicing inner truth, putting forth your creative energy, speaking with clarity. It's your ability to learn and listen compassionately, to translate ideas or dreams into expressional form. So that's when you draw it from the crown into the third eye and then express through the throat. It's also your discernment center, and it's where you filter the information and energy that interacts with your field, and you're able to tell if it resonates for you or if it does not. And then it's also an energy center that directly affects our teamwork ability. And then also it mentions integrity. So just having the integrity to know when to say something and when to be a certain vulnerability. Some key blockages and overactivations: we have ear infections and sinuses, tight shoulders and wings, fear of expressing yourself or defending, having a hard time retaining or receiving information, and then any blockages of putting forth your creative energy into the world. Overactivations: speaking over others, spilling out unmindfully and unconsiderably, dominating others' beliefs and expressions, and having no care to listen. A few crystals you can use: we have lapis lazuli, labradorite, turquoise, sodalite, blue kyanite, blue apatite, angelite, and chrysocolla. And then your foods and herbs for the throat chakra diet: grapes and berries, eggplant, kale, plum, and purple carrots. Then you have slippery elm, chamomile, eucalyptus, peppermint, clary sage, and rosemary. And to give you guys a few yoga poses, you have Savasana, Cobra, and Child's Pose. And then you can do conscious breath work. You can practice expressing truth in the mirror, or practice expressing with supportive companions. And then you can journal before you communicate, have conversation. And then again, creativity, arts, expression. And then your affirmation for the throat chakra: I am bringing value and expansion to lives around me by expressing my honest, loving truth. I am bringing value and expansion to lives around me by expressing my honest, loving truth.
Chevron amethyst, black moonstone, raw rising pills, spirit animal medicine, butterfly, elegant, delightful, and light spirits of the butterfly. Bring your medicine into my mind, body, spirit. The butterfly medicine is helping soften my flow of energy. I am becoming lighter in my vibration with every breath as the butterfly uplifts my spirit. I am embracing transformation, regeneration, and I am also being present, grounding, and honoring my cocoon, death, rebirth stage, so I may blossom into the divine beauty I am.
Okay. So those are your 2 chakras of the week for you guys to potentially focus on if you would like to. And that is to help with, cultivating and having the vital sexual creative energy to be able to give yourself, the will and the energy to create and continue to move forward in the revolution of your life, and not give in to the old ways and the old patterns, and really step forward and take this quantum leap. And yeah, wow, what a Lionsgate this year, I gotta say. So before I leave you guys, let me go ahead and give you guys your Ascended Master archetype to connect with to help support your sacral and throat center. So our Ascended Master that I wanted to pair with you guys this week as we begin to come out of the peak of this Lionsgate and transition into the finishing integration of this portal, I felt really called, especially with the mixture of that orange and blue sacral and throat chakra energy, of calling on the archetypal energies of Krishna consciousness, of course, the Hindu pantheon. So a little bit about Krishna is, the story is commonly told in the Bhagavad Gita, the most popular religious work in India, composed between the 5th and 2nd centuries BC, and part of the great Indian epic. So the Gita means Song of God, is written as a dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. Krishna describes himself as the Lord of all that breathes, and the Lord who abides within the heart of all beings, meaning one who is in the union with God, or the Creator, or Source, one who has attained the union that is God, or Creator, or Source. He says, when goodness grows weak, when evil increases, my spirit arises on earth. In every age I come back to deliver the holy, to deliver the sin of the sinner, to establish righteousness. Krishna teaches Arjuna about the 4 yogas, or paths of union with God, and says that all the yogas should be practiced. The 4 yogas are knowledge, meditation, work, and love, and devotion. This is Jnana Yoga, Raha Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. By self-knowledge, by meditation on the God within, by working with the works of God to balance karma and increase good karma, and by giving love devotion, we fulfill the 4 paths of the 4 lower bodies, the memory body, the mental body, the desire body, and the physical body. Divine Harmony Spiritual Church offers candle vigil services that call upon the assistance of these hidden masters for almost any situation. Beautiful. So another thing about Krishna too I'll share is that, Krishna is very artistic and creative and expressive. You notice that Krishna, even right here in this image, has a flute and is usually playing music or bringing some type of dancing or youthful, uplifting, vital energy. So that youthfulness, when you think about, the youthful Krishna, the baby Krishna, and the joy and happiness and cheerism that Krishna brings with that really unbound inner child energy, that is a prime example of balancing that throat and sacral. So again, my questions for you guys when it comes to your chakras are, where could you maybe express yourself a little more? Where do you feel like you can let go of any fears of expression? Or where can you step forward more in your creative passions and pursuits and maybe bring forward a little bit more service of your gifts so you can then step away and integrate more into a path of your passions? All right, so that's where I'm going to leave you guys. I am Captain Christo. Those are your chakras of the week, throat and sacral, and Krishna is your archetype to connect with. I thank you guys, and connect with me anytime by reaching out. I am able to be found on Facebook at Christolight Robbins. Then you can email me at marcustut23@gmail.com for productions, retreats, as well as one-on-one shamanic services. Captain Christo out. Over to LunarQueen with the Astrology of the Week.
Thank you, Galactic News. Hi guys, I'm Allie, LunarQueen, some call me, and I have the astrological forecast for this upcoming week. So today, as you guys know, this is the peak of the Lion's Gate, the 8-8 portal, 8 for abundance. Leo, the sun loves being in Leo. This is a great time. A lot of things being illuminated for us, and I know you guys are seeing it. I know you guys are hearing the news. It's been crazy. Also, you guys may have seen that Saturn is now retrograding. What that means is everything that you have learned may be testing you right now, especially if you're in Aries, Libra, Cancer, or Capricorn placement. You're going to be feeling this energy, especially if you've been dealing with karmic contracts over this last year, repaying any karma. Anything that you've repaid may be coming right back and asking you if you really learned the lesson, if you're ready to move on. Are you? Also, this week coming up on Wednesday, August the 12th, we have a total solar eclipse, which is going to be visible over there in Europe, in Greenland. And not only is it a solar eclipse, it's a total solar eclipse, and it's happening at sunset. So they're going to catch it during that golden hour. If you're over there in Europe, you're going to have the best views. It's strong, prominent solar energy with that beautiful moon energy as well. Feel free to get your telescope out or whatever's safe. I don't think telescopes are safe during a solar eclipse, so just go check on that first. But get whatever you need, your goggles, to check out that solar eclipse. Also, guys, we have a planetary parade happening all this week, but especially on Wednesday. So we're going to have the Sun, Moon, Mercury, and Jupiter all in Leo. Okay, let me pause right here because I don't want you guys to get a planetary parade mixed up with a stellium or all of them being in the same sign. So what a parade is that they're just going to all kind of be prancing through the sky around the same time. Unfortunately for us, we're probably not going to be able to see too much of it because it's going to be above the horizon parading with the sun. But it's still really cool because we have a lot of energies above the horizon. We're going to be feeling this throughout our day, especially that Jupiter and Sun conjunction. I hope you guys have been using this energy to your benefit and manifesting everything that you guys are wanting right now. Whether it be releases or attractions, anything that you want. This may come to you when you manifest. This may come to you in the form of an idea or actual physical gifts from the universe. But if you get the ideas, write them down. Okay? Any random idea. If you've been praying for millions and then you just get a random idea and you're like, oh, somebody else is doing that. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. Okay, just because somebody else is doing it doesn't mean you can't do it too. It's just your own magic. If you're called to do it, it's for you. Okay, back to the planetary parade. We also have Mars in Cancer, which is the sign behind Leo, Uranus in Taurus, Saturn and Neptune in Aries. Like I said, Saturn is retrograding right now. So if you're able to feel it, feel the energies, but we probably won't be able to see too much of this. You may catch you may be able to see Saturn during the day if you're able to pull out your telescope during the day and kind of like catch that perfect angle. It's just far enough from the sun to where you may be able to get it. But who you can see is Venus. So the solar elongation is at its peak right now with Venus. So Venus is actually in Libra, which is going to be below the horizon when the sun comes out. So that evening star, Venus, is going to be really, really bright, especially over these next few weeks. So feel free to watch the sunset and then watch Venus be highlighted as the sun goes down. It's going to be that bright star that happens in the west when the sun comes down. Also, guys, if you're having a hard time trying to see what is a star and what is a planet in the sky, stars twinkle and planets shine. So if it's twinkling, it's a star. If it's shining bright, it's a planet. But thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to send it back to the rest of the Galactic News. Feel free to check out my channel. My name is LunarQueen. You'll usually see me as LunarQueen21, except on TikTok, I'm lunar.goddess21. Thank you all for tuning in to the Astrological News, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Hello beautiful souls and welcome. I am Mystic Missy, and today we are stepping into a profound space to talk about who I am, what I stand for, and the sacred architecture of the legacy that I'm building here. When you look at my work, whether it's through my main plush relationships business or all of my other creative endeavors, it all stems from a single unshakable truth. The biggest mystery in this entire universe is ourselves. That profound truth is precisely why I do what I do. We are not here by some accident or whatever other lies we have been taught or forced to believe. We are living lineages, the conscious continuation of ancient bloodlines, cosmic templates, and deep historical roots that stretch far beyond the modern world. As I sit right here at the threshold of the powerful 888 Lionsgate portal, the messages that I am channeled are coming straight through from the ancestors, and the galactic beings couldn't be more urgent or vital. They want us to truly know where we actually come from. And because we all carry indigenous ancestors within our blood and bones, we are called right now to connect with them, to unearth our true history, and to find out who we were and who we truly are. The Lionsgate codes are opening a massive gateway for this exact ancestral remembrance. It's clearing out old timelines so we can step fully into our sovereign power. You can read the full breakdown of my own personal lineage and history from what I have uncovered so far. It's taken me a while, and I'm still going at it, and I will until I find it all. And it's on my Asteria Rising blog. And if you need help, I have services that I can also help you with that. My journey from being just a mother and working a job that barely pays the bills has taken me on a healing journey. And now about bridging the gap gap between the unseen and the physical, weaving the esoteric with the practical. Everything I offer, from custom Destiny Compass blueprints and lineage reports to my channel messages and tarot as well, to my all-inclusive web design, digital marketing, promotional services, and a lot more, is all on my website and waiting for you over at plushrelationships.com. Whether I'm unearthing ancient star codes or building high-vibe modern businesses from the ground up, the mission remains the same, helping you anchor your highest vision into tangible reality. I'm building a legacy for my children and my grandchildren. I think we all want that, so they don't have to go through the things that we've had to go through and our ancestors have gone through. That mission flows directly into my creative projects, Lineage Codex YouTube channel, where I map out these deep ancestral ties, and my new Asteria Oracle YouTube channel, where I channel and provide tarot messages. Asteria Rising is my sacred sanctuary for cosmic alignment, ancient history, esoteric mapping, and deep soul remembrance. It is where I explore the architecture of the cosmos, the forgotten pantheon, the wisdom of the Mayans and Mabon, the sovereign spirit of the Amazons, and the deep frequencies of the Anunnaki beings. Asteria Rising is where I do the deep dive, historical research, and trace our cosmic ancestry. And whenever you are looking for channel messages, oracle guidance, or deep spiritual reflections straight from the beings, including my upcoming Lionsgate transmissions, you can check them out all out on my YouTube channel or my website. A major shout out goes to this incredible community at Sacred Kingdom, holding this high vibrational space with me as I anchor these massive shifts. It's been life-changing. My creative expression also translates directly into how I relate to others here in the physical realm. That brings me to my Married with Superpowers, the relationship-focused baby podcast and YouTube channel that I co-host with my husband, Cricket the Gift. If Asteria Rising looks upward to the cosmos, Married with Superpowers looks inward and outward at the raw, beautiful, real-time dynamics of partnership, family, and building a life side by side. It's about navigating the superpowers it takes to maintain a conscious, thriving relationship in a chaotic world, blending humor, truth, and real partnership. And a shout out to Cricket the Gift because he basically does the whole thing. I am living out a declaration of lineage and a living legacy, especially as I anchor these heavy 888 codes. Thank you for walking this path, for holding space, and for keeping your own light rising. Take what weaves into your heart, let the rest return to the dust of the stars, and stand tall in your sovereign light. Until next time, I will be sending love, peace, and high vibrations your way. Thank you.
Tell my story about how I just survived, yeah. I'm schizophrenic, but my demons never lie, yeah. Need to break free from this mental civil warfare. Fighting the system ain't as easy as you think, yeah.
Welcome back to the foolishness, y'all. Let's start with the truth. Marriage will have you sleeping next to the person you love most, while secretly wondering if they need prayer, supervision, or a nighttime ankle monitor.
Because nothing exposes character faster than bedtime. In the daytime, it's Baby, I Love You. By 3 a.m., Yin's got survival mode, accusations, and one blanket, looking like protected federal evidence.
Folks think cheating breaks trust. Nah. Wake up cold enough one time while your partner wrapped up peaceful like a smug little caterpillar with no remorse, and suddenly vows start feeling like polite suggestions.
And men always swear they're the victims. Whole time y'all done rolled yourselves up like a deluxe burrito with entitlement, audacity, and zero home training.
So today we're talking about that silent little felony that starts in the dark and ends with somebody freezing, irritated, and reconsidering the whole ministry of love.
The blanket steal.
Let's tell the reckless truth. You steal the blanket like you training for the Avengers, baby.
And you cocoon yourself like you're preparing for metamorphosis. It's less husband and more emotionally needy silk moth.
See, that's what women don't understand. Men don't steal the blanket. We secure the perimeter.
Secure the perimeter? Sir, you roll up in that blanket like a burrito, with trust issues and unresolved character defects.
Because every man know the danger. You fall asleep comfortable, blessed, covered in peace, then wake up at 3:17 in the morning fighting for your life with one ankle out here catching hell.
Seriously? Because you sleep like you're in a wrestling match. Elbows flying, knees everywhere, blanket wrapped around you like a hostage situation with poor leadership.
And then on top of all that, why you got 10 pillows on the bed like we run in a luxury showroom? But by morning, every single one of them, joints done, filed for independence?
Because apparently my sleep has range. If pillows are flying, just know I was busy in the spirit and not everybody made it out untouched.
Busy in the spirit is wild. I wake up and the room looked like your side of the bed got raided. One pillow on the floor, one by the dresser, one halfway under me, like it was trying to enter witness protection.
Well, maybe I'm fighting demons in my sleep.
Including me?
Especially you.
See, that's exactly what I'm saying. I'm already in here surviving blanket theft. Now I gotta sleep like I'm in a low-budget action movie dodging airborne upholstery.
Please. If a pillow hit you, it was likely corrective action.
Baby, I move with passion.
No, you move like your dreams have a stunt budget and no adult supervision.
And you sleep cold on purpose. Women go to bed already plotting. Feet cold as a mug, spirit full of schemes. Whole soul set on violating a man's peace.
Excuse me for wanting warmth. That's what marriage is. Love, support, and access to shared heat. Yins don't get to say we're one and then turn into border patrol over a comforter.
Shared heat, yes. Blanket annexation? Nah, shorty.
See, men always love saying shared until sharing becomes mildly inconvenient.
No, I believe in sharing. I just don't believe in waking up dressed like a Victorian orphan because you done took 83% of the blanket and left me out here looking like Tiny Tim with trauma.
83% is crazy. Why do men always invent statistics when they're losing? The math gets louder the weaker the argument is.
Because the numbers matter. At 10 p.m., we equals. By 2 a.m., I got a napkin, a prayer, and a testimony.
And somehow you still got the nerve to be snoring like you personally financed the blanket.
Man.
Snoring is not ownership. That's exhaustion from surviving the night.
Surviving? Sir, I wake up looking like I spent the evening in a refrigerated produce section while you're over there, bundled up like a cinnamon roll with secrets and no accountability.
That's because I know how to preserve resources.
Seriously?
No, that's because you sleep selfish. There is a difference.
Fellas, let me help y'all. If she say, I'm cold, that ain't information. That's a warning shot.
And ladies, let me help Yins. If he grabs the blanket and turns one time like a rotisserie chicken, the negotiation window has closed.
Thank you. Finally, honesty.
I didn't say I respected it. I said I recognized the pattern.
Marriage will humble you. You spend your whole life looking for your person, then find out your soulmate is a nighttime pirate with elite hand speed and a demon-fighting pillow ministry.
And women find out their forever person is a blanket hoarder built like a human fort with the emotional range of a malfunctioning space heater.
The craziest part, as soon as I try to pull some blanket back, now I'm the villain.
Because men never do a gentle pull. Yins yank that blanket like you're starting a lawnmower with bad intentions and poor conflict skills.
Because diplomacy failed.
No, because patience failed.
Nah, the real truth is, this ain't even about fabric. This is about power, control, territory, nighttime, politics.
Exactly. The blanket is never just a blanket. It's a relationship referendum with poor conflict resolution and very little oversight.
That's why the love button is simple. 2 blankets.
Or one giant one.
Because if the love is real, we ain't gotta sleep like we split in war supplies.
And if you still insist on stealing covers, at least be honest. Don't wake up talking about I ain't take nothing while wrapped up like catered salmon at a fundraiser.
At the end of the day, marriage can survive stress, bills, and bad moods. But waking up cold while your partner looks peaceful and over-insulated will make you question their entire character.
And that right there is why bedtime isn't rest. It's strategy.
Married with superpowers.
For truth.
So disrespectful.
You're just mad I sound cute when I say it.
Man.
Break free from this mental civil warfare. Fighting the system ain't as easy as you think.
Hasikalaka. Hasikalaka tikio. Hasakalakin tokoloha. Hantiasa. Hionkoloho kia ta shahandake. Iya sakanda hiya. Intokolo shakata. Inkolonti kala handaki. Ashahala hanti ke la hata'a. Halanko titi la hanta'a ta'a. Hiyon koko ambi salahinta. Intakala hianto shahanka. Hikokola kari toto alaka. Ioloshinto kata. Hiyon toko ota alantiki. Iokolan tikia la hanti yoshonloko. Hakala hia tolo hondatia. Hata iyo lo hondatia aya sa handakia ala. Iyo loko olo onata. Iyo lo ondakia la handato. Iyo shankari tia antakia la handakia la ha. Iyo sho asi. Asi kala handaki. Ala handatio lo hosa'a. Hasa'a asaha ta. Hio kolo ondakia ala asa. Hia shankata I. Hola handakio sha apati. Io tototo olapatata. Io tototo olapatati toko. Io tokala andakia sa. Ia sa ala kata iantaka e. Hia shahandio solo oso ati. Io kolo ondakari ia shantio lo hondataya handa aya soko o sokola antakia ho shantaka ai. Hion toto la hatateti. Hio lo honkaka le hia satatati io lo toto. In toto la hantateti tata ala hantakia ta a. Ia shantea hanta. Ia shantio ho la handaka. Ia shontia lo hontaka la hai. Ian to la handaki. Io toto. Ia ta ia toto. I tata ia la hantakia la hante. Ia sahalo honti. Io sohola hanti ia ka. Ia sahalaki lo hontakale. Into kolo ontakia ata ia anti kikiki. Ion toko koko alanta tati ia kakai. Titi te antali ia to hoshantaka. Io hontaka hantikia shahala hantiki. Ia sahala hala. Ia sahala koko olo toto ikala antikia loho. Io kolo antikia alaha. Into toto iha ha shenteka a. Ia haha hantikia la hota anteke. Hia sia antakia la hata o. Hian sia shahanta kushata ala hora hantaki. Ihihi shahalahana. Ia shakolo ata ia. Ia soko papa ia shantaki lo to. Ion koko ala hante ya. Io kolonti kalito ti shankatata a. Io to ontoko ola antakia hantia. Antia hondakia shantia la. Io soko ola ti o toto antakia ati. Io kolo handakia sa handaki. Hiantakala hola handakia la hase e. En so ola handakio to. Ia handakio lo handakia sha ati ti. O tata ala handati. Ion toko lo hontoko le hia tatati io shontoko. Ianta ia tatata ianta tata. Ianta ata. Iato olo hondo ki ola hanta. Hanta hia sola. Hia hai sa. Hia hasai hiola. Antio. Hiola hanta ki asi. Hia shanditi. Ian shali hia tola hanta ki asa. Ia sankala hanta ki ashante. Iantia ha la. Ya, sia, 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 papatay.